Hello. Have you felt on edge, irritable, or restless? Like it's like your body won't relax even when there's nothing wrong in the moment? Absolutely nothing's wrong, but you just feel so on edge, irritable, and restless. If you do, this is the message for you. Welcome. I'm Coach Melinda. I go by Melinda. I'm a life coach, mentor, and I'm a registered nurse. And on this channel, we focus on faith, healing, and wellness. Okay? And this is where a place where it all kind of comes and ties in together. So let's get to the message. If you've been feeling constantly tense or overwhelmed, it's not random. What's happening is your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And once you kind of understand what's happening, then you can begin to calm your body instead of fighting it. All right, let's talk about what's happening within your body. So, what's happening is your nervous system is designed to protect you, right? And so, when you go through stress, trauma, or prolonged pressure, your body kind of shifts into fight, flight, or freeze. So when you have this constant stress and tension and you're constantly bottled up, it's your body's going in fight, flight, or freeze. And it keeps going fight, flight, or freeze. And sometimes with that, what happens is it doesn't know how to turn its own self off. Because again, it's in fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze. And so it doesn't know when to turn its own self off. And so what that could feel like physically or how that could show up is you feeling on edge, easily irritated because you're on edge. So you're anything gonna pop you off. You could get mad at the smallest things, like somebody say, "What we're eating tonight." I haven't even got to it yet. I don't even know. I'm tired. I need to figure. You could just snap out. We're let's go to eat. Let's go here. You decide. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like just snapping off just for no reason. You could also have trouble with relaxing because your mind is spinning and everything is going so well, so long and so much you can't even relax. You also could be overthinking everything all the time. Again, just spinning, overthinking. Should I do this? I wonder what we should get for dinner. I don't know if I want to make that. You know what? I don't know. I'm tired of this. I want something else, but I don't know what I want. Just make a decision and go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's if you're constantly overthinking, difficulty sleeping. That's that restlessness. You can't even sleep. You can't sleep because you're tossing and turning. And if you're not tossing and turning physically, your mind is tossing and turning. Also, you could be feeling overwhelmed by the smallest little things. Your kids could get on your nerves. Your husband could get on your nerves. Anybody walking down the street could get on your nerves. You just overwhelmed, irritated. Um, Somebody asks you to do the littlest thing, or at work, you can't concentrate. You're feeling overwhelmed. Like all of that can be signs. And you may not even know why you're dealing with all this or what's going on. And it's because your body is responding to what it's been through. Because remember, we're talking about constant stress, constant pressure, which means that that's been ongoing. It's a ongoing thing that's been going on for a long time. And so your body is responding to what it's been through. And then also, it's not just what's happening right now. It could be a buildup that's been going on and on. So let's talk about why it stays that way. Like why you're like Melinda, why? Why is my body doing that? You know what? I'm dealing with some of this stuff, but why? And what happens is like when stress becomes constant, your nervous system gets used to just being on. It's just like it's already on all the time. And so after a while, it starts to feel normal. It's normalized. The abnormality is normalized. Isn't that crazy? But that's what happens. Like it's our body doing that. And it's even when it's exhausted, it still keeps going. So instead of saying, what is wrong with me? What in the world is wrong with me? A better question may be, what has my body been trying to carry? What is it carrying? Why is why is it carrying all this stuff? So here's the truth. You're not overreacting. I do want you to know that cuz this is a thing. Your body is essentially trying to protect you. Is what's happening. And but there's a caveat to that. Because guess what? Protection without rest leads to exhaustion. So you're already tired to begin with because you're chronically carrying all this heaviness. And now your body's trying to recuperate, but you haven't rested. So that leads to more exhaustion. So you see how it just keeps going and spinning around and around? And so scripture tells us, Isaiah 26:3, it says, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. So peace isn't just spiritual, it's something your body experiences too. But at the same time, we're supposed to put our hope and trust in God, right? Because He knows the beginning and the end. We don't know it all, okay? And I do get that you've probably been through a lot, sis. You've probably been through a lot. I mean, you showed up for people who weren't there for you. You're running around like Superwoman. You're cleaning their house. You're buying groceries. You're going to work. You're taking care of kids. You're working two jobs trying to make ends meet, or you're working one job, working all this overtime. You sat here and stuck by somebody who didn't even give two diddly squats about you. Then you turned around and found out the hard way, wishing you would have known it in the beginning. Now you're beating yourself up saying, I should have seen the signs. You're sitting here and you've been a friend of somebody that was not worthy of your friendship, and now you're questioning all your judgment and your decisions of how could you fall for that. You're sitting here on a job, working a job, busting your butt, but they're putting other people in front of you for position increases and for pay increases. You're in a relationship that you thought was about to go to the moon. You sitting here making plans with people and you thinking that this is about to be it because they have told you that, we are getting ready to get married. We're going to be together forever. You're the only person I want to be with, only to find out, boom, now they're ghosting you. And everything that you thought would be is not. You've been hurt. You've been hurt. You working, busting your butt, making sure your household is good, your kids are good, your husband's good, your significant other's good, whoever's in your household. You're sitting here trying to make sure you make a way for everybody else. At times, you even put your own self last most of the time because you're taking care of everybody else. And then turn around because you think that because you're that type of person, you think that everybody's like that, but sis, they're not. Only to find out they're not. They're not. And there are good people out here, but you, for whatever reason, you got caught up. And it happens, sis, because you have a good heart. Your heart was in the right place, and God knows that. And He wants you to be at peace with what you have gone through. He understands the pain that you've been through. He understands all the people that mistreated you. He understands that you're still waiting on some to give an apology. Just acknowledge that they were wrong. They're not even just making an effort to say, hey, I was wrong. And you're still waiting so you can move forward in your healing. Sis, you're also waiting. There's somebody else out here that's waiting. Somebody just dropped them and left them on red. How could they do that when you're sitting up here, y'all was together all this time, you're talking, hanging out, having a good time. You thought this was the person for you and all that. Then all of a sudden they're not responding. They ain't responding to texts, ain't calling on the social media. Try to you inbox them. They not even contacting you. And so you're waiting on like what happened? Like where's the closure? Let me help you out with a couple of things just from experience. The first one, waiting on closure. If they are not contacting you and they are not calling you, that's your closure. That's your closure. They're not even worthy of one more brain cell of yours to worry about, what they're going to do, if they're going to call you and at least give you like an explanation as to why. No, sis, stop letting them stress you out because they're going on about their life. They're gone along. So that's your closure. The closure is that's not the type of person you want or need in your life anytime they can just leave you hanging like that. That's the closure. The closure is it's a blessing that you found out now because later on down the line, had you been with them like years later, who knows where you would have been. At least you're getting to see it now. That's the closure. Because again, I like Maya Angelou's quote. She says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Sis, they just showed you. That's the closure. So sometimes, there's a song that says sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. So you got to encourage yourself and pick up and just take it on. And, the best revenge I always say is to live well. Shine on them like a diamond. That's how I feel about it. That's my honest opinion. So that's that situation. For those of my sisters out here who they never even told you they're sorry for all the stuff they took you through. You helped them get it from the ground up. The minute they got on their feet, they left. You was sitting here letting them use your car. They didn't even have a car to drive. They didn't even have a job, and you helped them out, providing meals. You helped people to get with a house, a roof over their head. They didn't have anywhere to stay. You sit there and let them open up your house to them. Next thing you know, they dogging you out or talking about you like a dog. And you're waiting to say, why can't they even at least apologize? That's all I want. I would just take an apology. Sometimes you might not get that, sis. Sometimes people aren't that mature where they're going to circle around and say, I'm sorry. Sometimes they will later on, but sometimes they won't. But guess what? You can't hang your hat on waiting on that. So guess what? I'm going to apologize for them. Okay? I'm sorry they hurt you. I'm sorry they sat there and took your money and took advantage of you. I'm sorry they used you for your resources. I'm sorry that they dogged you out. I'm sorry that they sat there and talked behind your back after you was their rock. I'm sorry that they sat there and let you take care of them through all thick and thin, physically and mentally, and then turn around and turn their back on you. I'm sorry for that person who called themselves your friend, then turned around and backstabbed you. I'm sorry for a family member who you did all this stuff for, making sure they had a place to stay, making sure they had food on the tables, helped them with their kids when they were down and out. Then they turn around and backstabbed you. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that man that you sat there and did everything for, took care of their kids, or was there for them when they were at their lowest. You've been there through stuff that nobody else knows, and yet and still you're the one that they stab in the back. I'm sorry that they sat there and ran their mouth and talked to you like a dog when you were the one that was there through it all. And then the audacity of them to turn around and treat you the way that they treated you, knowing that you did not deserve that. No, you did not, sister. You did not deserve that. So, guess what? I'm sorry for that. So, sometimes, sis, we have to love on ourselves. All that love, affection that you was giving away to everybody else, take a little bit of it and give it to yourself. Breathe some life into yourself right now. Okay, sis? Okay, I just wanted to say that. I just felt led to say that. So again, we talked about Isaiah 26 and 3, and it said, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." And peace isn't just spiritual, it's something your body experiences too. You got to release some stuff, sis. And so let's talk about it because you guys know I'm a nurse. And so I'm always going to give you some practical tools here and there. So today we're going to talk about how are we going to calm our nervous system? Because you're like, Melinda, I hear you, what you're saying, but I need something right now that's going to help me right now. And what you say sounds good and it's motivating and I'm feeling rejuvenated a little bit, but what tools can I use at home? I'm glad you asked, sis. So let's talk about how to calm your nervous system. Let's just go ahead and make this simple, to the point, and realistic, okay? The first thing you could do is your slow breathing. Because remember, I told you on one of my other videos, I showed you how to do breathing techniques. So when you find yourself getting worked up or having to deal with a difficult person, before you go in there, or if you're at home and it's chaotic today, what you could do is you always want to take less breaths in than you do out. So I usually teach about doing like you take four, you count to four coming in, and you do six blowing out. So what that will look like is, and it feels so good just because you could just feel everything just coming, just calm. And when you do that, and you do that about 4 or 6 times to calm yourself down. I also have like running water, like on social on the YouTube. I go on there and I look for like videos that have like running water running through like the rocks and with all the greenery in the forest, because I love the serenity of the sound of water, like in the ocean. I loved going to the beach and stuff like that. So I'll find me something on TV with running like the rocks and river and this running in the background. And it's just like I feel like I'm right there in this forest, right there with these running waters and rocks and birds chirping. It makes me feel like I'm out in the forest by the water. So you could get that for free on YouTube. And then also, like at night, if you're having problems sleeping or what we call insomnia, you can go again on YouTube for free, and you can just look for uh, rain sounds for sleep, black screen, put in black screen, rain sounds for sleep, and it'll give you like different options. And you can let that run, and your TV will turn black, but you'll still hear like the rain sounds, and it literally helps you go to sleep. Like next thing you know, you're dozing off. I also watch them like sometimes when I'm working, like the beach ones, because it'll have a beach and I feel like I'm on the beach because I have it on the giant big screen and it's right on my wall and I'm looking in it, and it's very relaxing. Um, the other thing you could do is reduce overstimulation, like step away from constant noise, screens, and pressures. That's like blah. So, like if you have TV loud and it's all this ruckus on the TV, some of the movies, it's just like action movies, all the action. Sometimes you have to kind of calm it down and bring yourself to a calm environment. And like if you have a busy house with like family and stuff like that with kids, you can make you one room that's like, I have like a relaxation room. That's usually what I film in. But today I just felt like coming out here and filming. But when you see me most of the time, like I have my candles lit and I'll just be relaxing. So you can just make you one relaxation room where you go to just reset You could do that to get away from like the stimuli. And if, do your prayer in there, read, meditate, whatever you need to do to kind of bring your atmosphere back down to like a regulated, peaceful, calm, because that's when you do your best thinking. When it's calm, when it's peace, you can make better decisions because your mind is clear. You also can, I already talked about like creating spots of stillness. It, like, let's say you have kids and they have activities before they get started, while they're stretching or whatever, you could go to your car, stay in your car, again, do your breathing stuff, listen to your water sounds, or put your music on, something that's relaxing for you to kind of, if it's been a chaotic day, you can, I call it woosah, back to, calm. I use like Nathan Allen. He's like he plays like the saxophone. I have his whole, a lot of his music, that's like jazzy type music. It's no words, it's just relaxation. It's very relaxing. Other thing is speak the truth to yourself and remind yourself, your body, that I'm safe. I'm safe here. Okay? Because if you've gotten out of something that was like tumultuous and very stressful, just tell yourself, I'm safe. Okay? um and then make sure you get plenty of rest, because rest is important. Because like, let's say you get a cold or you cut yourself or have anything, infection or whatever, you need your rest to be able to replenish your cells to heal. So you need the rest. It's plus, it helps you not be so foggy in the brain and stuff like that from lack of sleep, sis. So you need to get your rest. um and just remember that, like, calming your nervous system, it's not a weakness. It's coming back to your regulation, like having peace, being able to enjoy life. And because you deserve it, sis, like, you deserve to be in a body that feels at ease. You deserve to live life to its fullest, to be happy, joyous, to be yourself. You deserve all that, to be in a safe atmosphere. So in closing, I know this went a little bit longer, but I really wanted to speak to you about this, okay? So if you've been feeling on edge, just know you're not broken. It's just your body, like I said, is in protection mode, trying to protect you. But you really need to kind of calm it down, take a step back, sis, get some sleep, sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere, sis, today. And promise me you guys are going to do this, especially those of you who's like me, all over the place. Sometimes you got to sit it down, sis. Put me a thumbs up in the chat if this spoke to you and you know you're guilty of being all over the place and you need to sit down somewhere. So your body's just been in protection mode for a long time, and healing means learning how to like come out of that survival mode. Okay, you just need to come out of that and into peace. And then, so just again, this was part of our I'm doing a faith, healing, and emotional wellness series, and this is just part of that. So I just wanted to bring that back to your remembrance. And so I'm wishing that you have peace, love, joy, and happiness, sis, because you do deserve it. Okay, I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to be healthy and whole, and I'm gonna be here to walking right by, rooting you on right by your side. Okay, so hang in there. You got this. Okay. All right, love you guys. Have a great day.